Good evening, everybody. I wanted to discuss a style of perfume that I really gravitate towards, and that is more retro types of citrus aromatic fragrances. And these are a few in my collection, and I love these perfumes because they are very green and herbal. They're bitter. They have lots of oak moss, and they are citrusy. So combine all those things together, and it, for me, is perfection. They also have an older kind of sensibility about them, primarily due to them being so green, so bitter, and having all that moss. It will smell, if you ever get a chance to smell these perfumes, it will smell from another time. It's not going to smell contemporary, but that's absolutely fine, and they are very beautiful perfumes. So going from left to right, we have Eau de Lancôme from 1969. Next to it, we have Eau de Rochas from 1970. Over here, we have Eau de Courrages from 1977, and right here we have Eau du Sud from 1996. I'll move from left to right in chronological order. The first we have is Eau de Lancôme, and it comes in this frosted glass, and I really am a huge fan of the frosted aesthetic. This doesn't have it, but they both convey the same kind of feeling, which is an ice cold glass of something that will refresh you. And this is even more well done. This is the first that I tried out of all of these, it was the one that sparked my interest, and I have to admit that it was the vibe of the bottle that drew me in, partially at least. And not only does it look icy and frosted, but it looks like moving water. So that is very cool to me. I can't wait to talk about this with you. I think you will like this as much as I do, hopefully. Okay, so Eau de Lancôme. I've already sprayed this on some paper to jog my memory. By the way, this is from this bottle is from 2001, I think. Okay, so Eau de Lancôme this is going to be the most perfumey out of all of them. Possibly the most musty as well. And if you do smell it, it might remind you of your grandparents or a teacher you had that was in their 70s. It for sure feels like it comes from a different time. And it should, because it's from 1969. And I'm getting a lot of greenness. Primarily what I get from Eau de Lancôme is I get oak moss, I get oak moss, I get lemon, and I get rosemary. The note breakdown. It's lemon, bergamot, honeysuckle, and mandarin orange in the top. In the mid, you have basil, rosemary, coriander, and jasmine. And then in the base, we have oak moss, vetiver, and sandalwood. So out of all those notes, as I said, I get the lemon, I get the rosemary, and the rosemary will, if you've ever tried Acqua di Parma, any of their colognes, a lot of them have rosemary in it. And if you've smelled those, this might smell familiar to you because of that. So just giving it another whiff here. Yeah, it's very green, and that lemon note does die off fairly soon after you spray it, and it's green for the rest of the journey. And green centered on that oak moss and the rosemary. And I'd also say the honeysuckle kind of peeps out here and there. I get probably 5 to 6 hours of wear from this. It is close to the body. It doesn't project very much after the first hour, I'd say. You get an intimate scent bubble, and you will be able to smell this on yourself when you wear it. You don't need that many sprays either to have decent performance, I'd say. So that's Eau de Lancôme from 1969. Next, we have one of my favorite perfumes ever, Eau de Rochas. This is from 1970, and this is actually the reformulation of the previous fragrance, which had been named Eau de Roche, but because of a copyright issue, they had to change the name to Eau de Rochas in 1970, I believe. So, okay, I love this fragrance. I'm gonna spray, I already have it sprayed on a piece of paper, but I'm going to spray it again because I can't get enough of it. This perfume is incredibly unique. It's so unique and it's so chic. I go crazy for it. And I promise you, you're never, if you smell this, it's not gonna remind you of any perfume you've ever smelled before. It's, note-wise, break down the notes. It has, okay, in the top you have lime, lemon, basil, bergamot, grapefruit, mandarin orange, and verbena. In the mid you have coriander, patchouli, carnation, narcissus, jasmine, and wild rose. And then in the base you have oak moss, sandalwood, musk, vetiver, and amber. So what I get from this perfume is I get a lot of basil. It is very much focused on the basil and the lime. It's kind of hard to pick out a particular citrus note in this perfume because it's blended, you know, that well. But if I had to choose, I'd probably say lime. So basil and lime. And I don't know if it's the basil, but it is something in this is really conveying this aura of the sun and sun bleached whatever, something that had been left outside and the sun has bleached it. A very hot sun, somewhere hot, and obviously somewhere very warm, somewhere you go on vacation. This smells like the coolest person in the world on their vacation. Somebody who's very chic and knows how to be carefree. It has amazing taste. I love this perfume so much. It's gorgeous. I highly recommend you try Eau de Rochas. I would say the performance is not as good as I would like, and it is an even more intimate scent bubble than Eau de Lancôme, and I probably get, of decent wearing, probably like 4 hours or so, and it's pretty much a skin scent after the first few hours, or even the first hour, depending on the amount of sprays you use. So it's not the worst performance, but it's nowhere near what I would like. Thankfully, there are 2 perfumes, but one in particular that reminds me a lot of this and has better performance. I'll do a separate video on that, comparing the 2. But yes, a solar herbaceous green perfume with lime. That is what this is. Eau de Rochas from 1970. The next fragrance I have is this one right here. This is Eau de Courage from 1977, and it comes in this bottle with, I think it's houndstooth. I can't tell if the liquid is green or if it is just I think it's the liquid. So yeah, that's Eau de Courage right there. Okay. The note breakdown for Eau de Courage goes like this. In the top, you have lime, bergamot, petitgrain. In the mid, you have mint, wormwood, and lily of the valley. And then in the base, you have moss, vetiver, and patchouli. Eau de Courage, I'd say this is the second most perfumey fragrance out of these four. And this one reminds me of Eau de Lancôme over here. This reminds me of Eau de Lancôme, but it smells fresher and it smells mintier because this has a mint note. So if you like Eau de Lancôme but wish it was a bit more refreshing, I would go for Eau de Courage. That mint note, I had to spray it already on a piece of paper to remind myself, and that mint note definitely pops out. It does become much quieter after about half an hour of wear, and in general, this perfume, it sucks with the performance. It's horrible. So, I mean, I don't wear it that much. I like it a lot, but the performance is so awful. So if I'm looking for something that smells like this, instead of wearing it, I usually just go for Eau de Lancôme, to be honest. But yes, this is very green. It has that mintiness. And I am not picking up any particular citrus. But you know, I don't really pick up much citrus at all, to be honest. It's just very green, and yeah, that's Eau de Courage. And then last, we have Eau du Sud. I'm sorry, I feel like I described this really shitty, but yeah, it smells green and herbal and kind of minty. So, and it smells similar to Eau de Lancôme. Okay, back to Eau du Sud from 1996. I'll say this, the golden yellow color I think is perfect for how this smells. This is a very savory herbal perfume. It's very green. It's golden yellow, and it's like a yellowish shade of green to me, if I had to associate this with colors. And I find that it is, well, I'll give you the notes first. In the top, you have the basil, grapefruit, bergamot, and mandarin orange. In the middle, you have lime, lemon verbena, mint, and jasmine. And then in the base, you have oak moss, vetiver, and patchouli. I find this to be a very savory basil perfume. Basil and lime, but more so basil to me. Yeah, I almost want to say it's salty, but yeah, it's just very savory. It reminds me of like a French or an Italian herb garden in somebody's backyard. And even though it's from 1996, to me, it does smell like it should be from the 70s, to be honest. At least the 70s. Yeah, no sweetness in here. No sweetness, basil, and lime. That is Eau du Sud. And by the way, well, I'll say the performance on this is pretty moderate, to be honest. Pretty moderate performance. I was going to say, all of these are certainly unisex. So man or woman, you can wear them. It doesn't matter. None of them skew too feminine. I guess maybe the most feminine would be Eau de Lancôme, and the most masculine would be Eau du Sud. But that really doesn't matter. So these are the citrus aromatic perfumes that I love, that are on the more old-fashioned side. Quick breakdown again. Most perfumey, most perhaps feminine, rosemary, oak moss, basil, the best one of all of them. Basil and citrus, but mostly basil. Very refreshing. Eau de Courrages, very similar to Eau de Lancôme, but minty. And then Eau du Sud, which is a savory basil perfume. And there you have it. If you've ever tried any of these fragrances, I would love to know what you think. I'd be very curious to know what you think about these, and if you agree or disagree with how I described them. I hope I explained the way they smell and descriptive enough so that you get the right idea. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you later. Bye.